Are you taking PGA money? Or are you teaming up with Liv to go to Saudi Arabia and take that bread?
Kind of watching Jake Paul's journey, actually, and finding a lot of inspiration in that. Say what you want about the guy, but I started working with the same breathwork coach he works with.
I think that was the best answer we have ever gotten on our podcast.
Yeah, I'm fired up. It's going to be a big year.
UFC superstar Jorge Gamebred Masvidal, dude. What's going on, baby?
What's up, everybody?
What up, everybody? Welcome into Man to Man Podcast. Today we're switching things up and talking man to woman. Please welcome on the show singer, songwriter, social media star Lauren Gray. We know you like the DJ.
I am okay.
$1.99 for a banana bag, bro.
Before we dive into today's shenanigans, this episode is brought to you by Dad Water.
Nice.
Dad Water is a non-carbonated, zero-sugar tequila water with natural flavors. The 4 flavors are Gary, also known as pineapple jalapeno, Steve, good old grapefruit, Rodney, a.k.a. blood orange, and my personal favorite, Tom, a.k.a. Lamaruski. Tom's a simple man of all means, loves taking care of his lawn on a Sunday morning. Shoot, he's looking to get a tiny bit athletic when called upon, if you know what I mean.
What?
Hoopstar, what about you?
You know, my guy is Rodney, I think. He's just grilling up some dogs in the backyard with the pool. His kids driving him crazy. All he wants to do, take the car out for a spin with the windows down and just say his hellos.
Hey, nothing wrong with getting a little glizzied out. Love it, love it. All 4 dads bring a unique flavor to Dad Water's fruit-infused tequila water. Whether you're already a dad-tastic father figure in someone's life, an aspiring baby daddy like Hoopstar and myself, or just looking to get a little bit athletic with the boys on the weekend, choose your favorite and join us for a drink, a couple of laughs, and hell, a damn good time. And hey, we might not be dads just yet, but after a couple of Dad Waters, shoot, we gonna be on our way there, soldier. Dad Water variety packs can be ordered online or can be purchased at a retailer near you. Just visit their website at www.drinkdadwater.com or click the link in the episode description to grab your favorite flavors today. Cheers. Let's get into the pod. And I'm Andy, by the way. That's Liam over there.
Let's get
dude, we kind of just go into it if you want, dude. Thanks for hopping on the pod. We got Alex Romo. If you're ready, brother, let's do it. Let's do it today because we want to hear about all of this on the pod. Alex Romo, professional golfer. Thank you for coming on the Man to Man podcast. How you feeling, dude? So just talk about what you were just saying there just a second ago.
Yeah, I'm feeling great. Life has been insane the last 2 weeks for me. I just finished a trip to Morocco. Was out there working with their tourism board, visit Morocco, played in PGA Tour Champions, which is the senior tour Pro-Am in Rabat, Morocco. So that was a first for me doing anything ever like PGA Tour affiliated in terms of like being somewhat in a field. It's just the Pro-Am part, but still I got to play the course. Got paired with this guy named Paul Broadhurst, who's a legend. He's like a multiple time senior tour major winner. And that was wild. And then I came home for like 5 minutes, like a couple days, but it felt like 5 minutes, and then went to Puerto Rico to do something very similar, work with their tourism board, and then play in a PGA Tour Pro-Am. The Puerto Rico Open is happening right now as we speak. It's going to be finishing tomorrow. And I got paired with Justin Suh, who was a guy from USC, who played with one of my good friends as a teammate there. So that was kind of a crazy connection. And then we also played with Robert McIntyre, who was the top ranked player in the field, like 65 in the world or something. So it's been a whirlwind of like playing in some arenas that I shouldn't even be in. I don't know who invited me or what the heck happened, but somehow I got the phone call and just had 2 of the like life-changing weeks of my life. So it's been amazing. But I'm a little tired.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say, jet lagged at all? Like you're probably on 0 sleep right now.
Bro, I pulled my first all-nighter since like 8 years ago to I keep getting stuck with these like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. flights. I don't know who's organizing these for me, but they're just not letting the kid rest at all. I had to leave at like 4:30 from Puerto Rico to catch the flight. And these events, they're like jam-packed days. Like not only are we golfing, we did like a cigar rolling class and all these nice dinners, and it's so amazing but exhausting. And so I wound up being up so late with that, and I was gonna get like 2 hours of sleep, and I was like, you know what, just hang on the phone with my girlfriend for a little bit and just stay up till the morning. I pulled a legitimate all-nighter, and then got a little sleep last night, but not enough. But I had another call before this, so I'm good now. We're caffeinated and ready to roll.
There you go.
Do you like to travel? Do you want that to kind of be your like lifestyle, or are you more of like a homebody, or you like, if it's there, let me do it?
You know, that's an interesting question, man. A little bit of both. I have done a lot of travel through this whole pro golf journey. Not in the way that I just described, like promoting tourism boards and playing in pro-ams, more so as a competitive athlete, actually myself trying to get on the PGA Tour. That's kind of been my journey the last 8 years. I played for a school here in California and graduated in 2014. I had like a 2-year period where I was injured, and then 2016 got out there and started chasing it while also working some side jobs as like a caddy and a caterer and stuff. But that gave me a lot of opportunity to travel. Been to like Argentina and Greece and Canada and Mexico and just different places trying to get on different tours. And then now in the last 1 to 2 years, as like the social media side of things has grown, and I'm starting to get more opportunities to work with tourism boards and go on these sponsored trips. That's, you know, still me traveling and golfing, but in a different light, and I'm enjoying that as well. You know, it takes some of that pressure off me to be like fighting for my life out there, trying to qualify for some tour, and it's just like make or break. It's a lot more relaxed and just kind of about fun and creating content and meeting people. So I enjoy both of it, but something that we can get into later if you want, something that I'm really pushing this year is more like community-based content, building like a private kind of like mentorship coaching platform. Not to say that I know so much stuff or whatever, but I just feel like being like a generic cookie cutter influencer, doing like branded travel and just golf content is enjoyable and cool. But I think that I've had a crazy journey at this point, and it kind of gets into like the fitness realm and the spiritual realm and the mental health, and all these things combined into what I like to call like a holistic philosophy, really just of life. And I happen to play golf, but I feel called to share more of that. And I think there's some unique platforms out there right now that guys are running mentorship through and coaching through and selling courses and things like that. And I want to add my own spin to that. And so I feel a bit called right now to just kind of like sit my butt down and work on that and record the videos, record the courses, do what I need to do to make that a bit more of my like bread and butter. And the trips and the tournaments and things can happen a little bit on the side, but it's pretty chaotic and crazy with how much, you know, jet setting I've been doing lately. I find myself a little tired and a little bit challenged to do that work that I feel, you know, pretty strongly about. So I might sit down at least for the remainder of March and get some work done.
Hey, with the weather getting warmer and days slowly getting longer, it's time to hit up your golf friends again and hit the course, but this time with a twist.
Ow! That's what that sounds like. Come on, Tuck, hit a good one. That's some loud, man.
Are you ready to shake up your golf game and leave your friends shocked? With Shocked Golf Balls, it's easy. Just tee up the ball, make solid contact with the raise button, and bam! Scare the living hell out of your friends and, post their reactions on social media. It's a golf ball that's never been more fun to swing, designed for maximum excitement and hilarious memories with your friends. The best part? Shocked Golf Ball comes in a variety of sleeve options, from 4 to 7 sleeves, 8 to 15 sleeves, and even 16 or more sleeves. Shoot, buy out the entire store if you're looking to give your friends a heart attack. So whether you're looking for a personal supply or planning a prank-filled round with your friends, Shocked Golf Balls has got you covered. Start to get hilariously shocking reactions from your friends and visit www.shockedgolfballs.com or click the link in the episode description to grab your sleeve today. That's www.shockedgolfballs.com and get ready to add some excitement to your next round of golf. With Shocked Golf Balls, every swing is an adventure. Today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Have you ever wondered, man, I wish I had more time throughout the day to get things done, or you're not exactly sure how to prioritize something over another thing? You're tired all the time, you're not getting enough sleep, you can't go work out because you got a hard deadline due for work at the end of day or 6 p.m. or end of week, and you're just feeling exhausted and overwhelmed. I know that understanding what's most important to you is finding out a way to best prioritize your schedule, and thankfully, therapy can help you find out what matters most to you so you can do more of it. I know that for me personally, therapy helps me prioritize my to-do list, no question about it, hands down, it's been a game changer, and every single day looks a little bit different for me, and it's hard for me to create healthy habits for myself. Therefore, therapy has helped me understand my needs and has allowed me to show up better in all areas of my life. If you're thinking about therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online, which makes it super convenient and flexible for your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists for no additional costs. Learn to make time for what makes you happy with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/man-to-man today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/man-to-man, MAN-2-MAN. Linked in episode description. Now let's get into the pod. Yeah, you always wonder too, just being a golfer, and I hate myself for not watching the documentary. What's the documentary on Netflix?
Full swing.
Yeah.
What is it?
Full swing. Is that the one you're talking
Full
about?
swing. I should have watched it because, obviously, we aren't golfers by any means. And Alex, we'll get all over the place. We're man to man. We don't really know what the hell is going on half the time, dude. So we'll kind of touch a couple of different things here. But it's cool that you have like multiple things going on at the same time when you're not one of the top 5 professional golfers of all time, and like even those guys that are even out of the top 15, top 20 are trying to figure out what to do. So it kind of sounds like you're established and you have it all over the place. Different things here and there. But dude, we like to kind of just timeline it up. So you're from Southern California and kind of just hear your story, man. Like, I don't know, dude, like what was life like growing up? Did you have any siblings? And then how did you get into the sport of golf?
Definitely. Yeah. Only child. Dad introduced me to golf at age 5, born in Ventura County, like an hour north of Los Angeles, currently live in Hollywood. Played all kinds of sports, basketball, baseball, soccer, water polo, somewhere around age 16, getting better at golf, trying to figure out if I could play in college, and eliminated all other sports, took golf more seriously, was not a Division I recruit, but I did walk on to Division I program, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. That actually took me 3 years to make that team, which at that point in my life was like a very big deal. I was very proud to call myself a D1 athlete because that seemed like a necessary step to be a pro in the future, which was always my goal. Never had a backup plan, never did internships or career fairs. It was just always golf, golf, golf. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn pro. A week before I was going to turn pro, right after I graduated, summer of 2014, had this weird injury pop up kind of out of nowhere. A joint on the inside of your collarbone called the sternoclavicular joint was like degenerating on me rapidly. And surgery was not an option because your aorta is like the main artery going down your throat, was like so close to that joint that they said to try to reconstruct it and strengthen it, we might nick an artery, you might die. Not a risk we're willing to take just for a young kid that wants to play a sport.
I'm looking to go pro. I'm not trying to die, my guy. You know?
Yeah. It was wild, dude. That was my first experience with like depression, I would say, and just being like, what is my purpose now? Like, this is all I was supposed to do. And you're telling me I can never golf again because I can't get that surgery. Crap, but we went the stem cell route, very lucky to have a supportive family, and we did whatever it took to figure out how we could try some experimental medicine. Did that for about 2 years with a doctor here in LA. Eventually was good to go. And during that time was kind of when I found social media, and I was just trying to like keep the dream alive by watching college tape of myself, making some little Instagram videos and posts here and there. And I started to get my first shred of like brand outreach, and people send a hat or a shirt or just whatever tiny little thing, which at that point in time I thought was pretty cool. And I was like, man, I actually enjoy like kind of sharing my story. And then when I did turn pro in 2016 and actually start traveling and playing, I was like, man, I was motivated by Gary Vee. He was always screaming about like document, share the process, not the end result. Like, everyone's on a journey. The journey is relatable. Don't wait until you're like the image is complete and you're ready for the ESPN 30 for 30 documentary, like share it now on Instagram. I was like, okay, that makes sense. I'm going to do it. And, it's 2016 and I definitely did a bunch of stuff, catered, caddied. I did like junk hauling for my buddy. I've had all these little side things so I would say I was kind of like half a pro golfer traveling and then the other half just trying to work and make some money to keep supporting that dream, because I wasn't like a blue chip college prospect when I graduated where Titleist is knocking on my door and the PGA is offering exemptions. It was not like that at all. Golf is something where you don't have to get drafted after college per se, like join a team and that's where you get a contract. You just go out there and you start playing tournaments as a pro and you start anteing up the big fees to be in those. And if you win, you win and you start progressing your career. So I felt like I had as good a chance of anybody. I was super hyped and grateful to have a chance to play after that injury really scared me. And, I won within like a month of returning to golf, just a small local tournament, but it still was very encouraging to me. Like, wow, if I could, basically just win based off of a good attitude rather than like a skill set, because everyone else has been practicing and I've been sitting on the sofa doing nothing for 2 years. So if I could win with that level of preparation, like imagine if I really apply myself to this, let's go. And it never took off the way I thought it would over the years. I've never, been on the PGA Tour or qualified for the level of things that I had hoped to, but I continued creating content. I continued trying to be as open as I could with sharing that journey with people. And it was really rewarding as I found a lot of people resonated with kind of the struggle. I'm like a self-described underdog kind of on this like hero's journey of finding it in the mud and just trying to piece it together, even though, on the outside looking in, it probably makes zero sense for someone I'm 32 now. And I would say I have no plans of stopping anytime soon. I think golf is a unique sport where a lot of guys don't even hit their peak till 35, 40, because it just takes a different level of maturity and a different mindset to really get the most out of your golf game. And it's not as physically demanding as like football, basketball, where you're, done at a certain time, you have a shelf life. That's not really the case in golf if you take good care of yourself, which is a big part of why this whole like holistic approach I kind of touched on there for a second is important to me. I'm definitely shooting for longevity and shooting for another 20, 30 years of competitive golf. And I'll bring it home really quick here in a second. I set a 5-year plan like 2 years ago saying, kind of watching Jake Paul's journey actually, and finding a lot of inspiration in that. Say what you want about the guy, but I love how he first figured out how to gain attention, kind of doing whatever it takes to market yourself, even if that means being controversial, finding a way to put himself on the map and then transitioning that into a very serious athletic career and doing, whether you're a fan of it or not, like he is an industry disruptor and he is creating a lot of opportunity for people that it wouldn't have been there. The attention on boxing. And even more than that, I just respect anyone that's like trying to become the best at something and is all in. And I've taken a lot of inspiration from his like spiritual practices. I started working with the same breathwork coach he works with, and I've gotten very into meditating, and I want to keep pushing in that direction, because I personally feel like that's always been the missing X factor for me, is not the physical stuff. I put a lot of years and hours into practicing, always taking pretty good care of my body and my health. And I think it's just in the 3 inches between my ears is where I've fallen short, and some of my competitors have kicked my butt because of being sharper there. And I think that breath work and meditating and more of that stuff is where I have the most room for improvement. So I made this 5-year plan saying, okay, there's something going on here with the internet. I am gaining more attention. I am kind of solidifying myself as somewhat of an influencer and starting to earn an income primarily through that. Let's keep going. I think that the scope of the internet is not going backwards. The opportunities are only growing in this realm, and you seem to be somewhat of a player in that game. Let's keep moving with that and put matters in your own hands. Pro golf is expensive. It takes like almost $100K a year to do the travel and the coaching and the equipment necessary to give yourself a chance to level up your career, get to the PGA Tour, which is the goal for all of us. And I'm tired of, trying to do these random catering jobs or hoping I'll find a sponsor. Like the best I could ever do was put myself in like a 3 or 4 month stretch to go play pro golf. but it was like an all or nothing stretch. I gotta like make it big and win 100K, or I'm going back home to catering and to caddying. And I just felt like that was a revolving door of, I would get pretty good at golf during that 3 or 4 months that I had the money to do it, just in time to run out of money and go back to some random jobs and at golf, because I wasn't practicing. And then, just repeated that cycle for years. And 2 years ago, I was like, okay, let's stop doing that. Let's pause the pro golf for a second. Let's go all in on the content. I found TikTok. Again, Gary Vee was screaming about TikTok. I was like, okay, let's figure this out. And little by little, it's just grown. And I do see an opportunity to really monetize at a higher level than like a traditional job or any bartending, catering type of stuff I could do. And, for a couple of years, focus solely on that, build enough wealth to hopefully kind of, obviously Jake Paul is an extreme example, but the way he's able to basically be all in on boxing now, he's got the coaches around him, the breathwork guy, the boxing trainer, the meditation coach. He's doing his cold plunges and his rehab. He's isolated himself in Puerto Rico with his camp, kind of insulating him. He's not vlogging on his phone all day, every day, distracted, trying to promote himself. Other people are telling the story, and he's locked in and focusing, and it's clearly working. He's clearly growing his skill set at this one thing he's focused on. I believe I could do the same thing at my own level with golf. And the X factor is really just money. Can you afford to insulate yourself like that and put yourself in a position where every day you just wake up and go through the motions? The coaches are there. The training is there. You just got to show up and you're going to get better by default. That's where I see myself, at the end of this 5-year plan, like being at my own level, and maybe not in a mansion in Puerto Rico with 72 team members, but maybe a couple people around me helping and at least getting my chance. That's really all I want, is just to see how far I can take it. Whether I become one of the best in the world or not, I really don't care about. I think that it's an interesting story of a kid trying to figure out how to like combine all these different holistic elements into improving at golf. I think that's something that is a positive impact on the sport of golf, because the culture of it historically is a bit degenerate, a bit of, promoting drinking and smoking and gambling, and just like, it's not really like a locked in sport the same way football or basketball is, with people taking it really serious from the physical component. And I think that it's cool to have fun with it. And I've been a part of that culture many times, but I do, think it'd be cool if high school and college guys started looking up to the same way, even though I'm older than Jake, I was kind of looking up to his whole journey. I think everybody has people looking up to them, whether they're on social media or not, and whether those people tell them or not. So it's your job to live the best story you can and represent the message that speaks to you. And for me right now, that's a bit more of a serious approach to golf and life, while still being, lighthearted, having fun, joking around and stuff. But I think I'm working towards a position where the things I do and say could hopefully affect some people in the golf community, and not, to just try some of these things, breathing, meditating, the gym, whatever. And if I could validate that by also being a high level athlete myself, and not just like talking about it, but still chasing tournaments and hopefully progressing from one tour to the next while it's being documented, and hopefully having myself more monetizable in the future, it leads to not just me on my iPhone documenting wherever I'm at, but an actual film crew filming, and maybe some production through Netflix or something. Like, it could get really exciting, and I'm here for it. I have nothing else that is more important to me than this. So I'm going to chase it as long as I can. And it may not work out exactly how I just described, but I think if that's the general direction I'm headed, then no matter what, it will be a worthwhile endeavor, and I'll be happy that I did it.
I think that was the best answer we have ever gotten on our podcast.
Yeah.
I was captivated.
No, that was awesome. I think the coolest part was you have the same breath coach as Jake Paul.
Yeah.
I tried a 30-second cold shower, dude. Could not do it.
Yeah.
Could not do it. How did you even link up with the same breath coach as Jake Paul?
Yeah, fortunately, he's LA based. His name is Lucas Mack, and he has his partner, Hella Weston. They do it together. They have this thing called Awaken Breathwork, and they host, it's called a breathwork journey. They host them a couple times a year here in LA. And I think I just reached out via Instagram or something, and now I've done a handful of experiences with them. They're powerful, bro. It's like an hour of just inhalations and exhalations through your mouth at this rapid pace, deeper than you normally would. And within like 5 minutes, you're pretty much like unconscious, and you're going into this like deeper realm where you're tapping into your intuition. The goal is to like release suppressed emotions and trauma, and like our heart's supposed to be open. Energy is supposed to flow through us, naturally. And when we experience trauma or stress, we have a defense mechanism of like locking up and trying to protect ourselves. So we store these things physically in our body, even though they're just emotions and just feelings. And that can really hinder you as a human and your growth and your ability to connect with the other people, because you have these patterns of trauma that you're kind of projecting onto, your present, even though your current partner isn't responsible for any of that. And it's just, it has correlations to sports as well as life, and it's interesting stuff, and it's relatively safe. You're just breathing. It's not like any type of chemical or supplement you're taking to create this experience. So it's pretty cool stuff, man. And this dude, it's just like a room full of, sorry, I'm in downtown LA right now. We got crazy sirens out here every 5 minutes, but it's just when you're in a room like that, you can feel the energy. It's palpable. It's like a different type. That anyone that's interested in that type of stuff and going to that extreme, because it's very uncomfortable. Like people are screaming and crying and going through some gnarly stuff. But people that are that committed to their growth and willing to take it to that level are the type of people I want to be around. And this guy Lucas Mack is as far as I know, like one of the best and most well-respected in the business. And that's been a fun part of my.
I got a question for you, because you've kind of brought up a lot of these different paths, and we know you're kind of more of a spiritual guy too, and you're playing golf and you have social media and you do all these kind of unique things from what we've kind of did our research on. How do you balance what is most important in terms of in your life? And for somebody that's trying to balance their life, what maybe advice do you have to give them? Because you've kind of laid out all these different things that you do in your life. How do you balance that?
Yeah, man, it's a work in progress. I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't think anyone really does. We all just get better and better at sort of projecting an image of balance and having it together. But I think even the most successful people are still just kind of piecing it together day by day. But in general, you got to have like a North Star, like a purpose of what you think, what would you do every day if like money didn't matter and you were just trying to live life on your terms, doing what you felt called to do and was the most enjoyable to you. That's the thing you should do. Don't be hindered by, well, it's not a traditional career path, or I've never seen anyone else do it before, therefore it's not going to work. It's like, just go after, as much as possible, go after the thing that you feel called to do. And I feel like for me, that is like, I'm a communicator and I want to like serve people. I feel like my purpose in life is to make myself a test dummy and try as many things as I can try and challenge myself and try to maximize my potential, realize my potential as a human, athletically, with golf, with the gym, spiritually, like just try to keep pursuing improvement and then share that, not to try to be like the smartest person and to tell everyone what to do, but for the people that are interested in the same things and just 1 or 2 steps behind me, if I can pull them to where I am now, and then I can keep going and then pull them again and then keep going, that to me feels like a life well lived. And that's sort of my North Star barometer for everything I do. Does it contribute to that mission or not? And I think it gets increasingly hard the more opportunities you have and the more like on the map you get, because things start, everything sounds cool. You want to come on a trip here? Do you want to come to this party? Do you want to do this? People start offering things, and I had my screensaver on my phone all last year. It just was the word no. I was like, bro, you got to get better at saying no. Like everyone's, got something interesting to talk about at this point, but does it contribute to that mission or not? And if not, it's a respectful no. Or another way to phrase that is people talk about, if it's not a hell yeah, it's a hell no. And it's not in a disrespectful way or like taking for granted, a lot of the nice things people are offering to you. It's just realizing that as one person, you have 24 hours in a day and you get one life as far as we know at this point. And it's your job to protect your time and energy and put it into the things that you think you're supposed to be doing. So for me, it all ties in. Like working out is foundational. If you're not taking care of your physical health, you can't possibly feel your best about yourself and have the most energy to do all these other things. So that's just like a non-negotiable. Got to hit the gym. Mental health and taking some time to like slow down and chill and no more scrolling and no more texting people and no more watching TV. Like give yourself 5 minutes to be with yourself. What is your brain speaking to you right now? It's like the check engine light in your car of like, what do you need to pay attention to? Is it a tough phone call in a relationship you need to have? Are you ignoring your diet and health and you got a stomach ache every day? Like, you don't know what's going on with yourself and what your own intuition is saying if you're constantly consuming. So spending 5 minutes a day by yourself in the gym and, the people in your life that you're giving your time and attention to, is that an uplifting experience or a draining experience? Are they related to the future version of yourself you're trying to become, or do they remind you of your past? Like, it's complicated, but it's really not. If you spend enough time self-reflecting and not paying attention to what the world says you should do by being on social media 24/7, but listening to yourself and spending time with yourself, however you want to do that, eventually it does start to become clear. I feel like for me, I've been hearing these themes for like 10 years. Like, I get the most high in life from helping people and feeling like I had a deep conversation with someone and we connected about anything. That makes me feel like a valuable human being, and it energizes me to keep going and keep learning more things and keep trying to help in any way that I can. And so once I realized that, I think it became easier for me to start saying yes and no to things in life. And I still make mistakes all the time, but I am trying to practice what I preach and be a bit more locked into like what contributes to the mission and what doesn't. And even if it's a bit painful to let go of things that used to be a part of your journey or people that used to be part of your journey, you got a direction you're headed and you got to try to make all things in support of that. So long story short, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to figure it out. And it seems like having this purpose at the forefront of my mind and writing it down and trying to frame everything that I say yes to through that, at least right now, that's the best way for me to approach it.
Hey, let me ask you real quick. We live in Nashville and we're from Nashville, and probably, as you know, being an LA and Southern California guy, all you guys are moving to Nashville. All right. Just chill out a little bit. But I was going to say, being from Southern California and LA, do you think it's easier to kind of have that mindset being like, I'm going to say no to a bunch of these things rather than maybe vice versa, people from Nashville going to LA? Again, we're on that radio station out there in Los Angeles. We went out to Sherman Oaks, went out to Malibu, Santa Barbara. We were trying to do all these things, but do you think it's just easier just being from out there and kind of just doing your own thing compared to, again, somebody that just moves out there and wants to be an aspiring whatever it is?
Yeah, that's such a good point, man. Definitely. I think that it's a bit of a trap. Everyone here is moving and shaking and doing something and got, a smile to show you and an offer to make you. And you spend enough time here and you start to learn how, like, your BS meter just gets better and you realize like, okay, this is a waste of my time. This is, dog crap wrapped up as a pretty package. Like, I don't need to associate with this. I don't need to be at that party. Like, let's lock in here. It's a city full of shiny lights and seemingly great opportunities, most of which are not what they seem to be. But yeah, coming from another city to LA, I think it's very easy to get wrapped into that. But even for me, my journey, it was similar because I'm from Ventura County, which is like a sleepy beach town, kind of in the Santa Barbara direction. Totally different lifestyle than LA. And I didn't really have much to do in LA as a kid or in college or anything like that. So I really only have been here since following on TikTok in 2020, thinking like, oh, maybe I should be around some more of these creators and move to LA. So for me, it's still kind of new in the last couple of years. And I would say that I did get caught up in saying yes to way too many people and way too many things for those first 1 to 2 years here before starting to pull back a bit and realize the rooms I need to be in and the places I need to be and the ones that I can pass on. But yeah, you're right. A lot of people moved to Nashville. I just had a couple of buddies tell me about that in the last week.
on top of that too, it's just funny because obviously you're building a social media following, and other people out there have social media followings, but maybe not per se so much for golf content, right? Is it what different between you having relationships with sort of these quote unquote golf influencers or whatever you want to call it, golf content creators, compared to maybe like other influencers out there in Los Angeles? Because, we've had people on, they're like, well, I don't know if it's a relationship or if it's a personal relationship or if it's a business relationship, or if they're just trying to get my numbers and, things like that. Whereas you're just a golf content creator that does have numbers, that lives out in Los Angeles, and you kind of have your own little circle that way. Is there a line right there? Do you see a line, or what do you feel about that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's been a really fun journey. Starting to become friends with people that for a long time were just faces on my iPhone, on the Instagram Explore page or TikTok or YouTube or whatever, and meeting a lot of people, first in the golf industry, and then now it's expanding way beyond that, and getting to go on different trips and sponsored things here and there and meeting a lot of these people. It's, you do have to kind of just read energy and trust your intuition in terms of like which people you want to be around and which people are maybe just kind of giving off the wrong vibe. I definitely like being a golfer primarily. I wouldn't say it was something that I necessarily saw for myself, like being a quote unquote influencer. I think I always wanted to just be known for like my skill as a golfer. I did want to be on TV and make money and do all these great things like Tiger and have foundations, but I didn't necessarily see it through like TikToks going viral, and that was going to be my thing. But I think, nevertheless, it's created opportunity for me that I wasn't creating for myself just as a golfer. I needed that extra push of the internet to get to the position that I'm headed towards now, where hopefully I can, whether I make it to the PGA Tour or not, I can still have a lot of the same impact and fulfillment in my life that I hoped I would just through golf. So I definitely see it all as a blessing, but it does kind of come as a double-edged sword with a lot of things you got to watch out for, and people smiling to your face that maybe aren't, on your team or have the best interest for you. And I think I'm doing all right with it for sure. And I'm grateful to have been brought into this world a bit older in life. I'm 32 now, and all of this stuff really just started taking off for me around age 29 or 30. And that's about 10 years ahead of the curve for our current generation. So I have a lot of empathy for the 19 to 25-year-olds blowing up and trying to figure out how to navigate all of the smiling people in their face, promising them things. It's not easy, even for me. So I can only imagine being younger, but generally been a positive experience. I have met a lot of really cool people that I am inspired by, and I would have never had access to had I not been putting work in on social media and trying to gain some recognition that way. So in general, I feel like it's the best time to be alive, and there's so much opportunity through this internet if you harness it and use it the right way. So I'm overall happy with the way it's worked out.
So quick question, on a normal day, what is kind of your normal routine? If, let's say you don't have a tournament or something, what do you do, let's say Monday through Friday or Monday through Sunday? What is your kind of normal routine when you wake up?
Yeah, there's 3 pillars for me, and it's always golf, health, and content. And health is broken to physical and mental. If I check those boxes every day, then I feel good about myself and I go to bed with a clear mind. So some form of golf practice or play, these days, recently, it's been a lot more just like going out and playing with somebody, making a video, a lot less like grinder practice like I would be doing if I was actively playing a lot of tournaments and making that, the bread and butter of my life. The last year, it really hasn't been. I'm sharp at golf, but I'm not like ready. If I got a call from the PGA Tour tomorrow to go get my first start, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that. So lately, it's just been more, playing rounds of golf for fun, meeting different people. Try to get some of that in, 5 days a week if possible. The gym is important to me. And then for mental health, it's like a combination of meditating twice a day for 20 minutes, morning and night, little breath work video from Lucas Mack for like 10 minutes a day, hopefully putting my phone down for a few minutes here and there to get a little walk in or whatever. So physical health, mental health, golf, and then content. That actually has really been the biggest bubble for me for quite a while, as I still am operating as a one-man team. I'm working on hiring an editor, working on, getting some film assistants and things like that. But it's mostly just me and my iPhone filming, and then editing a lot slower than a real editor would edit, because I'm just a golfer, man. I don't know what I'm doing. Just doing little CapCut stuff on my phone, trying to figure it out. But that does take a lot of my time, probably like 6 hours a day of, even though it's not a tremendous amount of content and it's not super high level, I am trying to be active every day on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and sharing, the golf, the fitness, the different routines, and then some of the travel and stuff recently. And so, yeah, typical Alex Romo day is a little bit of golf, a little bit of gym, a little bit of mental health, and trying to make videos.
Is there one thing that you like to try to do every day? It could be non-related to golf, non-related to anything. Just, is there one thing that you kind of like try to do at least once a day? For an example, like for me, I put down my phone for an hour each day, kind of like right before dinner. And then, so is there something like that kind of from your, side of your life that you try to do at least once a day?
The gym. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Gotta get the
truly
gym.
like foundation. I just like spiral into depression if I don't go to the gym. Like I really, really need that for like self-confidence, obviously for health. Like of course, there's a lot of scientific stuff that's going on, but more than that, it's just like I don't feel good about myself or like looking in the mirror, and I just don't have that much respect for myself if I don't go do something hard every day. And yeah, cold shower is hard, and making videos is hard, and all these other things are hard. But since I was like 13, I've enjoyed just working out, and I think it's because it's a fair arena. And I would say social media is fairly hit or miss. I have no clue, about a video that's going to do well or not do well. I put the same amount of work into all of them, and it doesn't necessarily feel fair that some get 5 likes and some get 500. It's just a bit of an unpredictable thing. And same with golf. I've put in a tremendous amount of work, and I would say it's comparable to a lot of guys that have had more success than me. And it's bounces here and there, and who knows why, but the gym is fair, dude. You pick up the same weights and you eat the same food, and then you increase that week after week. You will see a physical change in the mirror, a different change on the scale, and a different strength output. And I think I've always gotten, it's just like a grounding thing for me to know that I will get direct ROI on my time there. So it feels good to me to hit the gym every day. And it's actually something I've been missing recently with a lot of this travel and like pretty extreme travel to different time zones. And I've noticed myself really struggle with that. I'm still, generally a positive, happy person, but I don't feel as like energetic and sharp and confident as I would like to feel. And the one thing I can point to is like, well, yeah, dude, no shit. Like you're not in the gym the same way you were last year. I've lost like 15 pounds the last 2 months from just being on the move too much. So that's a really important thing for me always.
Yeah, dude, I've been hitting the gym. This is probably the best I've felt like in my entire life the past just 3 months. And I got to hit it every single day because I work from home and I'm just like in my head all day. And I'm also on like social media. So I was even telling Liam the other day, I was like, dude, I feel like my brain is literally fried because I'm on social media all of the time. And I don't go to bed till like 1 a.m. every single night. And then I can't even imagine. I mean, we don't get the numbers that you get on social media, but I can't even imagine if we did, then I'd just continue to scroll and check what those numbers are, refresh. So I would definitely agree, man. The gym is great. And I guess I am looking to take the tarp off come May. So
looking big, bro. You're looking big.
It's what the mediums will do to you, you got to wear the mediums. Hey, listen, man. I want to get into like the coolest golf course that you've played at. Obviously, I checked out the Tiger Woods video, the golf course. Maybe touch up a little bit on that. If that is the answer, if not, give us your original answer. But definitely want to touch up on that a little bit.
Yeah, I was calling that my favorite course, called Paynes Valley in Missouri, that I got to play about a year ago on one of these like promoting a tourism board type trips. Super cool. That was a fun experience. And then what I just did in Puerto Rico, I was playing like 2 days ago, I would say has probably taken the cake. I played this place called Bahia Beach in Puerto Rico. And dude, it's like they have the only rainforest in the US over there. And it's wild. So this golf course is like in and out of basically a jungle, and it's by the beach as well. And they have that like tropical clear water vibe going, and the course condition was immaculate. That's up there. And when I was younger, age 16, I went to Scotland with my family, and we played at the home of golf, which is St. Andrews. And that was way up there as well. So that could be like top 3 for me: St. Andrews, Paynes Valley, and then Bahia Beach.
Is Paynes Valley Tiger Woods? Is that the Tiger Woods one or no?
That's his course. Yep. He designed that in Missouri. Yep.
Gotcha. That's pretty cool. How you hit the hole in one, you get $1,000. Is it?
Yeah, they have this hole. It's called the 19th hole. After the round is done, they let you play one more, and if you get a hole, it's a short hole, like 100 yards. Yeah. Get a one, you get $1,000. And
go ahead.
That's it. You're good.
Yeah. No, I thought that was super cool. I was going to say, have you ever played at Torrey Pines?
I have. Yeah, I played some tournaments there in the past, and I just watched the PGA Tour event there a couple of weeks ago. It was pretty cool. They always come there once a year.
Yeah.
Do you have like a favorite golfer that you've played with before? Maybe like maybe an idol, or just like a fun partner that you've had the experience to play with?
Man, yeah, a lot of guys. Yeah, I mean, just 2 days ago, recently at this Puerto Rico Open, the pro-am I played in got paired with Justin Suh and then Robert McIntyre, both tour players. And Robert McIntyre is like 65 in the world right now. He's from Scotland. He was sick. His game was so sick, and that was really cool to actually play with him. That was my first time playing with like current PGA Tour members. I do have a lot of friends that I've spent, the last couple of years traveling around playing with that are now getting to the level of the Korn Ferry Tour. A few guys on PGA Tours. This guy named Jake Knapp that just won like a week or two ago. It's like a 6th PGA Tour event, and he's getting a lot of attention just because of his journeyman story to get there. I think he's about my age, young 30s. He played for UCLA. I played against him in college, just paired with him a few times. He's from SoCal. Played with him and his brother a few times, and he was a bouncer and all kinds of crazy stuff throughout his 20s, just trying to keep the dream going, and just got on tour in the last, I think like November of last year. And then at Torrey Pines, I was walking with this group following him because he got 3rd in that tournament, which was like a rival for him. And the check for that's like $500,000 or something for 3rd place on the PGA Tour. Totally life-changing. And then backed it up like 2 weeks later with a win. I think it was the Mexico Open. And so to say I played with him is even pretty cool. A PGA Tour winner. So a lot of guys, man. Golf.
Are you like exchanging, like asking them like tips and tricks while you're playing, or is that like kind of frowned upon in terms of kind of save that till after the round, maybe get a little inside, see what he's seeing?
Golfers are pretty cool, man. They're for the most part really nice guys. So the two that I just played with, Justin Suh and Robert McIntyre, and then the senior tour player that I played with in Morocco, Paul Broadhurst, they were all very social. Asked them a ton of questions, and mostly just about like what their ride was to get there. Because with golf, there's like a bajillion different ways you can get to the PGA Tour. You can be a top college player and get some exemptions. You can go through what's called qualifying school. You can play on the mini tours and then get on lower level tours and then get called up. There's all these different ways, and people love to debate and theorize about what's the best bang for your buck, what's the best way to do it on a budget, where's the least competition. So I was asking them stuff like that, and not too much technique. Golfers' technique is very there's a lot of ways to get it done. There's not necessarily like a proper way to do it. Everyone's body's different. Everyone has like a different natural swing movement. And if you watch, the top 100 players in the world, they all have different mechanics. So at this point, I'm not like super obsessed with the technique side of things. It's more just, it works for someone, it might not work for the other guy. But
for someone that's listening, Alex, that might not know like how all of it works with the pro-am and things like that. You just talked about how a guy is playing in the pro-am, but he's already in the tour. Is that correct? So you can kind of mix that up and parlay both of those together. Why do they do that? We know why you do that, to try to win it and get in the tour, but why do guys like that do that? And then follow up, how many people are in the PGA Tour tournament?
Yeah, typical field is 144 guys. The pro-am is the day before the actual tournament starts, and they are allowing amateurs to, it's a cool experience. They put 3 AMs with 1 PGA Tour professional golfer. They either, like in my case, had an invitation to come be a part of like a tourism promotion experience, and that's why they put me in this. Or you can, buy your way in some instances. They're fundraising money, and they're, a lot of times it's like the sponsors of the tournament have exemptions to allow amateurs to come in there. It's just a fun thing. It's mostly for raising money and allowing guys the cool experience of playing with a professional golfer on the same golf course that they're going to have the actual tournament at. but it's not a serious thing. It's not like,
so it's not like a qualifying thing where if you win the
no,
pro-am.
no, they do have what's called Monday qualifiers for each professional golf tournament on the PGA Tour. It's 2 stages, but the final stage is on a Monday. So you have to basically play 2 rounds of golf, get through 2 different cuts, and they let 4 guys in each week to the PGA Tour that are not on tour. They just qualified, but it's extremely hard to do that. I have tried, probably, I don't know, 20 times and have been unsuccessful, but some guys do get on the tour that way. You pretty much have to shoot like back-to-back 7 under par rounds to get in. And then you need to like make the cut and finish in the top 10, and then they'll let you into the next week. And if you do that a couple of times in a row, you might get high enough on the money list to stay on the tour. But yeah, 144 guys each week. I think there are 125 guys that have their PGA Tour card each year that are like pretty much allowed to play all the events. I could be slightly off on that, but it's a pretty small number. There's really very impressive to get to the tour and to stay there. There's probably 10,000 pretty talented pro golfers worldwide that are playing on mini tours and Canadian Tour and the PGA Tour China and all these different places, mostly in the hopes of either getting to the PGA or the European Tour equivalent, which is called the DP World Tour. And I have tried for both of those. I've played in qualifying schools and definitely going to keep trying. It takes,
we've got that. We've got that on our notes right here, but it says you've also won 3 professional tournaments.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. At the mini tour level, and a couple runner ups and losses in playoffs and stuff like that. I know that pro golf is less easy to understand than basketball, football, baseball, but basically the same way baseball has like the minor leagues and the major leagues, golf is the same thing. So our minor leagues are called like the mini tours. And those would be the types of things that I have won and I've spent most of my time playing. And then, the PGA Tour is like the major leagues and you have to qualify through this very long process to get there. But yeah, technically I have won some professional golf tournaments and have been playing in them for 8 years, but is it putting me on TV next to Tiger Woods in the same tournament? No, that is the goal, but it's a process.
What can we look forward to from you? And let's say you said the 5-year plan you had. Let's say within the next year, what can we look forward from you?
Yeah, I'm working on a big competitive schedule this year. I just had a call with my management last week, right before this Puerto Rico trip, saying, let's pitch it again, try to round up some sponsors and create a content series, which I've done before. I played on this thing called the Dakota Tour 4 times, and it's like a very tight schedule of about 18 tournaments in the Midwest during the summer. And great competition, a lot of players that have progressed to the PGA Tour from that. And in the past, I have basically sold like a content series to be promoted on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, documenting that whole, the health and the storyline of, which tournaments I did well in and which ones I didn't, and the travel and some interviews with my friends that are on the tour as well. And just kind of allowing myself to get out there through that content series. And it was pretty successful the times I've done it before. Just had a call with everybody saying, let's do that again this year. There's some new tours now I'd like to play on and some qualifying schools I'd like to be a part of this year. Last year I played like less than 10 tournaments, which was probably the lightest year I've ever had. And I miss it. And I do feel like there's a lot of things I want to try to validate through my own competitive schedule, like this whole holistic golf philosophy, if you will, that I'm trying to create content about and build community around. I feel like the most effective way to have that gain traction is just going out there and actually performing well in tournaments and sharing that experience. So I'm trying to get back into a lot of competitive golf this year while simultaneously telling the story in a more compelling and hopefully engaging way. And that's bringing someone with me. So I'm trying to add extra budget this year to bring a filmer. I'm trying to hire an editor, and definitely would like to get it produced at a higher level than just social media. And I think it's very possible this year. Not only about me either, but some of my buddies that I've, watched progress over the last 5 years on these tours. I'd like to shine a light on them too and try to spread out the storylines beyond just me and I think that that's very possible. Those are things that through the power of social media, I can hopefully, move forward with. And I also think I'll get better at golf if I'm allowed to like kind of focus more on just doing my thing and paying attention to these healthy routines that mean a lot to me while other people help tell the story. I think other people can tell the story better than I can. And I can also be a better athlete and a better leader and a hopefully better, communicator about the types of things that I'm doing and what's working for me. I think it will, I'll hopefully do, bigger numbers, but more importantly, more impactful messages on social media and in some of these private communities and places I'm trying to pour my energy into this year, as well as a lot more tournaments and a lot more travel and hopefully doing something. I personally don't feel like I've done much in golf yet. And, I am proud and happy to have played in college and I'm proud to have won some tournaments and traveled and played a lot, but there are levels to it. And I feel like I have more potential than I've realized yet. And just got to give myself time and lock in. And I'm fired up. It's taken a while, man. At 32, I genuinely feel like I just barely got started. Like maybe last year was my first year I started to like monetize to the level that I could really do anything in life, like outsource and delegate some tasks and start to travel to the places I need to travel to play tournaments. And it's like, it's just barely, I'm like 18 years old, I feel like right now. And I have that energy too. And that's why the gym and the mental health is also important. I feel like energy is our currency and it's not really time because everyone has the same amount of time. Obviously people are varying levels of successful and happy in life. And that's based on where they're applying the energy and how much energy they have. And I feel like I definitely have my head, all over the place trying to do 10 different things. That's always been kind of how I am. But I feel like it's possible if I just, take care of myself, do what I need to do to keep those energy levels high and stay focused on the things that uplift me and don't drain me. So it's, I'm fired up. It's gonna be a big year.
Before the merger, I'm curious. Before the merger, are you taking, if and when were given the opportunity, are you taking PGA money? Or are you teaming up with Liv to go to Saudi Arabia and take that bread?
Man, that's a crazy question, dude. I think I always wanted to be on the PGA Tour, so I would 100% prefer to be on the PGA Tour. If the price point was like 100x higher, the offer coming from Liv, I think, it'd have to be a long, hard conversation with family about like, man, this is like some generational wealth type money that you may never have an opportunity to make again in your life. It might be something to consider, but quite honestly, I don't know that I see that happening. Those offers are mostly for like top 50 in the world type guys. And I just simply am not there. Not to say that I couldn't at some point get there, but probably, I'm probably going to be one of the PGA Tour guys if that's ever an option for me.
Let's go. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Put
I'm
the money
taking
aside.
that bag.
Yeah,
bro.
I'm taking it back too, probably. But didn't they just merge back together, right? That's what
They
happened.
announced a plan to do that, but I haven't seen any like concrete dates of like when and they still are existing as two separate tours right now with major beef towards each other and the players jabbing back and forth. So it's a mess right now. I don't know what's going to happen.
What's one guy that you like thoroughly enjoy watching on TV, and then there's another guy, I don't know, Rory McIlroy, that you might not like watching on TV because he complains too much?
Oh man, that's so funny, dude. I love watching like Sahith Theegala. He's a super cool younger guy that just got out there and just seems like so relatable and humble. And he played on a lot of the same tours as me in the last couple of years. So that's like an inspiring figure. And Max Homa, love Max Homa. He played for Cal, and one of my teammates at Cal Poly transferred after a couple of years to go be on that Cal team. And so I was well aware of him, during that time in college. So it's been cool to see him progress. I played with him as a junior golfer and stuff. And I just think he's a cool, laid back guy and someone that's a little like hard to watch.
Like if you had to pick, like who wins in a fight, Brooks Koepka or DeChambeau?
DeChambeau? Man, dude, I think, God, that's a tough one. Probably Brooks. Brooks is like a little bit of a bigger, taller dude, I think. Yeah. Bryson, they're both like, they're entertaining and exciting to watch, man. I do miss seeing those guys because they're both on the Live now, so we don't really see them on TV. Live doesn't have a TV contract. You kind of got to go out of your way to stream that on your laptop, which most people just do.
Hey, me and DeChambeau are brothers, if you know what I mean. So
Oh,
I'll
yeah?
take that. Yeah. I'll take that. Yeah, I was talking to his ex-girlfriend for a little bit in point in time, but she cheated on me. She was cheating on me, so that's all good. I get it. Yeah, it is what it is, dude. What else we got? Is that about it? Do we have anything else? Man to man, what is the key to success?
Well, I think you have to develop the ability to like do things you don't want to do hard work, even when it doesn't feel like what you want to do. You know, you got to go to the gym. You don't want to. Some people will call that discipline and others will call it like self-control or energy management. But I just think that, especially as a man, it's freaking hard to come up and be successful and do all the things you're supposed to do, acquire, status and wealth and a great physique and, protect and provide for a family. All these things that are kind of like what we're supposed to do requires the ability to override your emotions and just get shit done. And I feel like training that skill by doing hard things every day, like taking a cold shower, getting to the gym, doing the hard work on your business you're supposed to do, having the hard conversations with people that you need to have, just in general, doing we all know what we need to do to be successful. We know we got to eat healthy and get in the gym. Nobody's dumb. We just like to cope and kind of rationalize in our brain ways to not do the hard things we don't want to do. I feel like man to man, key to success is just waking up every day and not listening to your emotions and feelings, trying to weasel your way out of doing what you need to do and just get it done. Just shut the emotion off and just get it done. And then you get to experience the life you want to live of success and freedom.
Alex Romo, thanks for coming on the pod, dude. Hey, you ever tried these things out? They're called shocked golf balls.
Nah, what is that?
It's the world's loudest golf ball when you hit it.
When you hit it.
Yeah, you ever heard about that?
In some like fun tournaments, they've had things that have like exploded. I don't know if it was
Dude,
that.
we got to get you some of these, and you get out there on that Pro-Am tour and kind of freak some people out. How about that? Get disqualified immediately. Hey, dude, thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on the pod, bro. I mean, obviously, we've kept up with your story a little bit, and definitely, it's a very interesting story to hear and to see, and it gives us inspiration and motivation for us to keep going with what we got going on with the podcast. So, dude, thanks for coming on, and hopefully we'll see you here on Netflix here soon, no?
I hope, man. That would be a realm of possibility someday. So my pleasure, guys. That was class. Thank you for having me on.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it.
We'll talk to you here soon then, all right?
Sounds good. Peace.
See ya.